What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are finally going to be doing yet another hero concept, this one focusing on one of my new favourite droids in Star Wars, which is IG-11. I have actually gone and made designs for all of his star cards, abilities, and even his image on the selection screen as well. A lot of work has gone into this video, and so if you guys do end up enjoying it by the end of the video, then I would love it if you guys could smash that like button down below. Now, I have to start off by saying that this is all just my own little concept, so none of this is official, none of this means he's coming to the game or anything like that, so I just thought I'd clear that up to avoid any confusion. The gameplay you're seeing in the background is a mod from ElderBH, and it is absolutely amazing, so for any of you who are on PC and enjoy modding, I will leave a link to the mod down in the description. I do also realise that with Mando only just coming out in a lot of European countries, some of you may not have seen it all yet, so just be wary of spoilers in this video, although there shouldn't be too many big spoilers to worry about. But without wasting any more time, we are going to go ahead and get stuck right into it, and to start off I thought we should start with his base HP. I've put his health pool at 750, which is actually the highest base health of any blaster hero in the game, with 200 regen as well, so he is an absolute tank. However, keep in mind, just to make sure that he's not super overpowered, he would have to be the slowest blaster hero in the game as well, so think something along the lines of Chewie in terms of health, who can actually get to 800 with the right star cards. Now, as for his weapons, he carries both an E11 and a DLT-20A, obviously having one in each hand, and these would just work like regular dual wielding pistols that we see for the ISB agent and the ARC Trooper. However, I'd love to make the left trigger actually zoom in so that he can be a little bit more accurate, since he is an assassin droid, and in the show we see that he is obviously extremely accurate with his shots. I have put down some damage stats there, however, without being able to actually play him and test the damage stats or anything, it is hard to tell when it comes to balancing, so just consider these to be placeholders, since it's pretty hard for any of us to visualise how much damage he's going to deal, compared to, say, when I do it for the Saber concept, since obviously the Sabers are all mostly just a 2-hit kill. Now, before we get into his abilities, I thought I'd quickly touch on his skins as well. So obviously there aren't really any different skins that we see in the show, so my only guess could be that he would have a base skin, which is obviously just his regular appearance, and then he could have a battle damage skin as well, where he's really scratched up and dirty, and maybe even a big scorch mark on his head where Mando shot him, having some smoke coming out or something like that. Now, moving on to his abilities, and I'm not going to lie, these were a little bit hard to come up with since we don't really see him do all that much different stuff in the show, and so I feel like the balancing of these isn't perfect at all, but I thought I'd go ahead with it anyway. So, for his left ability, this one is called Bacta Spray, and this would make it so that when he uses it, he sprays Bacta in the direction that he's facing, temporarily healing and buffing any teammates by 20 HP per second to a maximum of 100 HP. This wouldn't be an instant buff like the battle command, but rather a slower, gradual buff with 20 HP per second like I mentioned, that allows time for you to lead the team into battle rather than just buffing a heap of teammates and letting them run into battle by themselves. In theory, this probably wouldn't even work as planned, but the reason behind this was just because I feel like IG-11 is a sort of frontline type of character, so it'd be cool to see him buff his teammates, then push in himself while the teammates stay behind as support, rather than instantly gaining 100 HP and being tanks themselves. I'm not really a fan of the health buffs on the light side, there's already 2 at the moment, so like I said, I'm not really sure how the balancing would work, but he does use that Bacta Spray on the Mando during the show, and I didn't want to leave this one out of his skill set. Moving on to the middle ability, this one is called Overload, and this would essentially be the equivalent of Kylo's Frenzy, but for a blaster hero instead. It would slow IG-11 down to a slow walk so that he can't just rush around, and then he'd lock onto 2 enemies at a time, one with each blaster, and essentially just automatically fire at them with a bit more damage than the regular shots, but also a slower rate of fire since they are more accurate. Once he kills an enemy, it'll just search for another target after that and repeat the same thing, and all up it lasts 10 seconds before needing to cool down. This one was made with episode 1 in mind, where he pretty much just goes ham and takes out all of the Niktos in that compound by just spinning around wildly and hitting all of his shots. So again, I'm not too sure how the balancing would go, but I would love to see IG-11 out on the Battlefront just spinning around like an absolute psychopath and killing anyone in his path. Now, moving on to the right ability, this one would be called Thermal Vision, and exactly as the name suggests, this would give IG-11 thermal vision for the duration of the ability, showing enemies through walls as well as on the minimap. I'm pretty sure it's not quite canon that he has thermal vision, however in that same episode he mentions that the target, which we find out to be Baby Yoda, is inside that building, and he says that without even using the tracking fob, so I'd like to think that he has thermal vision, seeing as he is obviously a badass assassin droid, so whether it's canon or not, that is just in my own headcanon. Being an assassin droid, I think that makes sense that he can have a really great awareness and just know where his targets are at all times. It is canon that he has really good senses, which are how he's pretty much able to seemingly never miss a shot, so I don't think thermal vision would be out of the picture. So that is it for his abilities. Like I said, I'm not really sure on the balancing of these ones, so if you guys have any better ideas, definitely let us know down in the comments anyway, as not gonna lie, I did struggle to think of these abilities, and I'm sure there are probably some better ideas out there. Now, lastly, moving on to his star cards, and like I said, I have made some designs for these as well, just to make it all look a little bit nicer. The first card is called Manufacturer's Protocol, which just gives IG-11 more health regen by up to 100 HP. I wasn't going to include this one as it's almost exclusively a Saber Hero card, but Leia does have the same card, so I thought I'd throw it in there anyway. Next up is the Assassin Droid card, and this one gives his overload ability a bit more active time by up to 2.5 seconds, maxing it out at 12.5 seconds. Next up is the Cannot Be Captured card, and this one makes it so that each time you get a headshot kill, his blaster's heat build-up will be reduced by up to 75%, pretty much the same as Phasma's card. Next is the Nurse and Protect card, and this one is pretty simple, giving buffed teammates up to 50 more HP over an added 2.5 seconds when you hit them with the Bacta spray. The next one is the Hunter card, and this one just gives Overload a larger lock-on radius, meaning you can lock onto enemies from up to 30% further away. Up next is the Heat Signatures card, and this one makes it so that thermal vision also reveals enemy gadgets such as turrets or shields or anything like that. Next up is my favourite card by far, the Self-Destruct card, and this one makes it so that when you die as IG-11 you will actually self-destruct, dealing 200 damage to anyone within the area of effect. However, it comes at the cost of less base HP and less health regen. I'm honestly not too sure if this one would work. It probably would be a pain in the arse in HVV, but I couldn't leave it out, and I think it would be so cool to pretty much sacrifice yourself in GA and take out 5 or 6 enemies when you die, since IG-11 is known for his selflessness. Up next we have the Team Vision card, and this one makes it so that thermal vision does reveal the enemies to your teammates as well, just through an outline like Insight. However, it comes at the cost of half the active time. And last but not least, we have the You Are Protected card, which gives Bacta spray a larger area of effect, allowing you to buff more teammates. So that is it for all of IG-11's star cards, guys, and with that, that is actually going to be the end of the concept as well. As always, I did leave out the emotes and voice lines, as it's always fun if you guys leave some comments down below for what you would like to see for IG-11's voice lines and emotes. I am going to be doing a heap more of these concepts, guys, with the next one hopefully being Cad Bane, but let me know if there are any other characters you guys would like to see me cover. If you did enjoy the video, guys, make sure to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them.